Most clinics don't lose patients before the inquiry, they lose them after it. Patients who were ready, interested, and maybe even considering the treatment just disappear right at the time of consultation. No rejection, no complaint, and no explanation. The most dangerous part, most clinics don't even realize they are leaking the consultations bookings. In this video, I'm going to show you where patients actually disappear and why it happens and why more marketing does not ever fix it. But first, you need to see the real problem. What we see in traditional markets is that clinics measure only leads and messages and inquiries, but they rarely measure what happens after. You know, how many inquiries become consultations or how many consultations become treatments. Because between interest and action, because there's a fragile zone where the most decisions are lost, and this is where the silent leak lives. And later, I'll show you the exact moment patients mentally decide not to move forward, even when they still appear interested. You know, most clinics believe that the growth comes from more leads, so they invest in marketing, ads, campaigns, agencies, but growth still feels unstable. Why? Because marketing is filling the top, just the top, while patients are leaking in the middle. Imagine pouring water into a bucket with holes. No, you're not doing any good to yourself. You don't need more water. You need to fix that lead. And you know, not every inquiry becomes a patient, and it never happens. I've seen it. And it's not always about the price or competition, it's psychological. Because when patients inquire, they enter a decision zone filled with uncertainty. They are not just asking, can I afford this or do I want this? They are asking, is this safe? Can I trust this clinic? Am I making the right decision? What if something goes wrong? Are they credible? Do they take responsibility? If this uncertainty is not handled, patients delay. They compare or they quietly disappear. Let's just slow this down. Patient leakage does not happen randomly. It happens in predictable zones. Leak zone number one is the response to lead. I call it speed to lead time. Interest fades faster than clinics respond. Delay kills emotional momentum. Lead to is the trust reinforcement. Patients inquire, but uncertainty still remains. Not reassurance, no movement. League 3 is a transactional communication. When clinics sound like sellers, not guides, patients emotionally step back. League 4 comes to be the consultation without clarity. If patients leave confused, if patients leave confused, they do not decide. Clarity creates confidence. League 5 will be the emotional hesitation ignored. Fear is silent, but fear stops decisions. Predictable clinics do not push decisions, they remove uncertainty. And this leads to the real insight. So, the conversion of those inquiries is not persuasion, it is the risk reduction. Fear decreases, trust increases, clarity improves, emotional readiness appears. And here, the principle most clinics never realize. Conversion speed depends upon trust velocity. Let me repeat that. Conversion speed depends on trust velocity. The faster trust forms, the faster patient move towards the treatment. Let me share something I've seen repeatedly. Two clinics, same cities, similar pricing, and similar services. Clinic A generates more leads as expected doing the marketing but struggles to convert. Clinic B generates fewer quality leads but grows steadily. Why? Because Clinic A focuses on attracting trust and Clinic B focuses on stabilizing their decision of a customer during his inquiry to consultation cycle. So, Clinic B responds faster, communicates calmly, guides instead of selling, reduces fear, creates clarity, same lead, different outcome. So, because growth is not driven by attention, it is driven by trust progression. So, when conversion leaks, lead increases, but patients do not. Marketing cost rise, growth feels unstable, staff becomes frustrated, and demand becomes unpredictable. But when conversion stabilizes, same leads, more patients, marketing becomes efficient, and the clinic feels calm, not chaotic. This is why convergence sits at the center of patient flow. So, what I want you to leave with is instead of asking how do we get more leads, ask where are we losing patients? How fast do we respond? Does communication build trust? Does consultation create clarity? Are fears addressed? Do patients feel safe to proceed? Because predictable clinics do not chase leads, they protect patient movement. Most clinics believe they have a marketing problem, when in reality, they have a decision problem. So, patients do not despair because they are not interested, they despair because uncertainty remains unresolved. The growth becomes predictable the moment the trust becomes structured. I'm saying this again, most clinics do not need more marketing. They need to fix the invisible leak before inquiry and treatment. Because patient acquisition is not about generating interest, it is about converting trust into action. The clinics that understand this do not struggle for patients, they control patient flow. And once you see the leak, you cannot unsee it. I hope you got me. See you next one.